Senator Kennedy began with Judge Kolar, asking bluntly about her beliefs. "Do you believe in God?" he asked. She raised her hand without hesitation. Next he asked if the U.S. Navy is systemically racist. Judge Kolar replied, "No, Senator," clear and firm. Her directness stood out, no hedging, no political calculation. In a room where nominees are often coached to be cautious, Kolar's confidence was rare. Kennedy seemed satisfied, and the hearing moved on. The contrast with the next nominee would be stark. As the hearing progressed, Senator Kennedy turned his attention to Judge Federico, and in that moment, the entire mood of the room seemed to shift. The air grew heavier, anticipation building as all eyes focused on the nominee. The formality of the setting was suddenly charged with a new intensity, as if everyone sensed that the next exchange would be pivotal. Kennedy's questions cut straight to the heart of personal conviction. When asked if he believed in God, Judge Federico paused, his expression thoughtful. He respectfully declined to answer, explaining that his faith was a deeply personal matter, separate from his public duties. This response set a tone, one of careful boundaries and a desire to keep personal beliefs private, even under pressure.
Judge Kolar, am I saying your name right?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. Will you allow your personal beliefs to affect your judgment on the bench?
No, Senator.
Okay. Do you have personal beliefs?
Senator, I have personal beliefs like anyone, and I certainly understand the issues that the country is facing. I try very hard because of the fact that both as a reservist and as a sitting federal judge, I have to act within a chain of command, and specifically as a judge, only decide issues after I've been presented arguments by the party to reserve.
You were in the Navy?
Yes, Senator.
Do you think the Navy is systemically racist?
Senator, I've served with people in the Navy from all different backgrounds.
Yes, but as an institution, do you think the Navy is systemically racist?
I think our armed forces were one of the first institutions in this country that were desegregated and allowed for people from all backgrounds to serve their country and better their lives. I don't necessarily understand what that term means to everyone, but I don't.
I think it's a pretty straightforward.
I don't think today the
it
Navy I'm serving in is systemically racist.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
The senator, undeterred, pressed on. He shifted to the contentious topic of affirmative action, seeking a simple yes or no. Do some people need special help to succeed because of their race? The question hung in the air, loaded with political and social implications. Federico, however, refused to be boxed in. Rather than giving a direct answer, he spoke at length about the importance of legal precedent, the role of the judiciary, and the necessity of impartiality. He referenced past Supreme Court decisions, emphasizing that a judge's duty is to interpret the law, not to legislate from the bench or reveal personal leanings. Kennedy, growing visibly frustrated, tried to draw out Federico's personal beliefs, but the nominee remained steadfast. His responses were careful, measured, and complex, always circling back to the principles of judicial restraint and neutrality. The senator's patience began to wear thin. Each time he sought a clear answer, Federico sidestepped, deflecting with references to legal doctrine and the ethical obligations of a judge. The tension in the room was palpable, as if the entire hearing had become a chess match of words and intentions. The contrast between nominees was striking. While Kolar answered questions directly and with little hesitation, Federico's approach was more guarded, even evasive. Their differing styles highlighted a deeper divide, not just in personality, but in judicial philosophy and the role of transparency in public service. This was more than just a matter of strategy or personal style. It was a fundamental clash of philosophies about what a judge should reveal, and how much of themselves they should bring to the bench. As the hearing continued, the tension only grew, underscoring the high stakes and the profound questions at the heart of the confirmation process.
Judge, our second judge, will you allow your personal beliefs to interfere with your judgment on the bench?
No, Senator.
And do you have personal beliefs?
Yes, Senator.
I'm glad to hear that both of you have personal beliefs. You've thought about the world. Judge, do you think minorities need special help to achieve?
Senator, I think as a country, we have come a long way. There are certain issues that the Supreme Court just decided last term on a case of affirmative action that dealt with this issue.
Yes, sir, I'm familiar with the case. Do you believe that minorities in America need special help to succeed?
Senator, I think all people should deserve equal opportunity to succeed.
Okay. Do you believe minorities need special help to succeed?
Senator, again, I think based upon a person's background and their community they come from and what hardships they face, I hope that all persons in this country who work hard have an opportunity to succeed.
Let me try it again. Do you believe that minorities in America today need special help to achieve, to succeed?
Yeah, again, Senator, from all persons, no matter what community they come from.
Yes, sir, but do you understand the question? Am I not being clear?
No, I understand, yes, sir.
Okay, would you answer it for me, please, sir?
Well, Senator, I'm stating again.
Kennedy's frustration became obvious as he leaned in, voice rising. "Judge, I'm asking what you believe, not what the law is," he insisted. Federico repeated that his personal views were irrelevant, he'd follow the law. Kennedy accused him of hiding behind legal jargon, calling for transparency. The senator rephrased his questions, but Federico continued to deflect. The room grew tense. This was no longer polite questioning, but open confrontation. The hearing exposed a fundamental divide. Should nominees reveal their core beliefs or remain impartial? The communication breakdown was complete. The most intense and pivotal moment of the hearing arrived when Senator Kennedy leaned forward and asked Federico a question that has become a flashpoint in today's cultural debates. What is a woman? The room seemed to hold its breath, the weight of the question hanging in the air, signaling that this was more than just a routine inquiry. It was a test of values, beliefs, and perhaps even the nominee's judicial philosophy. Kennedy followed up, pressing further, asking if sex is a biological reality, a question that has sparked heated discussions far beyond the walls of the Senate. Federico paused, visibly weighing his words, then carefully declined to offer a definition. He explained that he hadn't studied the issue from a scientific perspective and didn't want to speak outside his expertise. Instead, he stated he would rely on the evidence presented in each case, emphasizing the importance of judicial impartiality and the need to avoid personal opinions in legal matters. Kennedy, clearly frustrated and incredulous, pressed on. "You're going to be a federal judge, and you can't answer if sex is a biological reality?" His tone suggested disbelief, as if the nominee's reluctance to answer was itself a statement.
Yes or no? It's pretty simple.
Well, I believe that is a complex question in many ways that it's difficult to answer yes or no. Again, I believe all persons.
I don't understand why. You either believe that minorities need special help to succeed or you don't. Is there a reason you won't answer my question?
Well, Senator, again, my answer is persons from all communities. I would also note, of course, there are certain issues when you say minorities.
You're not going to answer it, are you?
Well, like race, that has been the
Okay,
Supreme
let's move
Court.
on. I think by not answering it, you have answered it, but can you tell me what you think about the Navy, whether it's systemically racist?
Senator, the Navy I know is not, and in fact, its primary focus is to be the most lethal maritime fighting force in the world.
Okay, thank you for a straightforward answer. Do you, Judge, we'll move back to our second judge. Judge, do you think that a person's sex is a biological reality, or do you think it's a social construct?
Senator, there certainly is a biological reality of sex assigned at birth, but
Right.
there are, as you're well aware, issues that are before the courts, both in district courts and appellate courts, where individuals are raising issues about how to define
Okay.
that.
Let me
later in
ask
life.
you, I can tell you're reluctant to answer it. And these are tough questions, but I want to know what you think. I'm entitled to know what you think, I think. before you vote.
Federico, maintaining his composure, repeated his cautious stance, reiterating that as a judge he must remain neutral and base decisions solely on the facts and law before him. The standoff was total. Kennedy demanded clarity and a straightforward answer, while Federico insisted on the principles of judicial restraint and impartiality. This exchange highlighted the tension between the desire for simple, direct answers and the careful caution expected of those who interpret the law. The moment quickly became a symbol of the broader divide in American society, between those who seek clear, unambiguous answers and those who believe in the complexity and nuance of legal interpretation. It was a clash of worldviews. The senator's demand for certainty versus the nominee's commitment to judicial caution and restraint. The hearing ended without resolving the conflict. Instead, it put the nation's divisions on full display for all to see. The question lingered in the air, unresolved and echoing beyond the chamber. What do we truly expect from our judges? Should they provide clear answers to society's most contentious questions, or should they remain above the fray, guided by law and evidence alone?
Do you think judge minorities in America today need special help to succeed?
Senator, I
Do you think that's a complicated question?
Senator, I think it's a question that the Supreme Court, as you just
Yeah, but I'm just
indicated,
asking you what you believe.
So with the Supreme Court, and that's
Yes, sir, but what do you believe? I know what the Supreme Court has said. What do you believe?
I believe that if I am presented with an argument that there is an affirmative action program.
What about you personally?
Or any type.
What about you personally, not on the bench? We stipulated that you're not going to allow your personal judgment to affect your decisions on the bench, and I believe you. Do you think minorities need special help to succeed in America today? That's a pretty basic question.
I think that question, Senator, is one that the courts will struggle with after.
I'm way over. I just can't believe neither one of you gentlemen will answer my question. I just can't. That's about as fundamental as you get in terms of America today, and I really am disappointed. I thought you would hit it head on. You're going to have tough questions on the bench now. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Padilla.
The hearing left a clear contrast. Kolar chose directness, Federico chose caution. Supporters say Federico's restraint shows judicial integrity. Critics call it evasion. Is a judge's refusal to answer simple questions a sign of professionalism or a red flag? Some argue judges must be blank slates, others demand to know their core beliefs. The Kennedy-Federico exchange became a mirror of America's divisions over the courts. Do we want judges who are open about their beliefs, or those who keep them private? Is directness a virtue, or a political trap? The question remains, what do we truly want from our judges?